Everybody, Rant coming. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. I hope you enjoyed the stream this morning, but I've got something that I need to get off my chest. We've just heard earlier on that apparently Wöber is going to Borussia Mönchengladbach, or is heading to Borussia Mönchengladbach. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Or now, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 10 seconds. Just as I sip my coffee in the pissing down rain, which has just glittered my coffee cup, to guess. Do you think we've got any value for Max Wöber? Bearing in mind we signed him in January for 10 million quid. I'll give you 10 seconds. Is that 10? Yeah, no, we haven't. Update, we haven't again. And I think that's 5 or 6 players that have now gone out. And Leeds United have got about 3 million quid's worth of value. It's worrying. Now, let me tell you why it's worrying. Because football clubs need to accrue value to be able to spend. The 49ers, with all respect to them, can't come in and just splash cash. They can't do it. The FFP constraints, which obviously are applicable in the EFL, they've got their own sort of name for it. But they can't do it. And the beautiful thing about us getting to the Premier League was it meant that we had an array of money that we could spend, and the constraints weren't as tight as they are in the EFL. The problem with Leeds now is there's loads of people saying, oh, well, it's going to be amazing with Adams in the Championship. It's going to be amazing with Somerville, Sinisterra and Onto. Well, some of them are going to have to go, unfortunately. Now, do I care about Wöber? No. We've got left profiles. We've got Cresswell who can play out there. We've got Yeld who can play out there. We've got Strauch who can play out there. I'd ideally like a replacement, but who knows what's going to happen now. My problem is, everybody, it's the value, and it's what the club can now work with, because if we're not getting any value that's coming into the club, transfer-wise, what are we doing? How is Wöber signed in January for 10 million quid? The same window as Nonto, who hasn't got a loan clause in his contract, and Wöber's got a loan clause in his contract. I don't understand. How can you buy a player for 10 million quid and stick a loan clause in his contract? What is that about? Why has this donut done this with every single deal? Victor Orta has really screwed Leeds when it's come to his transfer window, but it's not just him. Obviously, we know it's Rad, but as well, Angus Kinnear being the chief operating guy, chief executive officer, whatever the hell he is in his position, will have had dealings like this, will have been involved in negotiation. That was his job. That is part of his job, part of what his role entails, being dealing with contracts and all this sort of stuff. That's what the 49ers have essentially pointed to anyway. I just cannot understand us going into this transfer window, and we need players. I don't care what like the majority think in terms of course, obviously I care, but I think the passion from me here is coming from like this whole thing of us keeping the players. Us keeping these players, and it's fine if we go forward with these players. No, it's not. We need a replacement for Patrick Bamford, who isn't good enough. We all know that. We need a central attacking midfielder, which is going to cost money. It's going to cost a lot of money because central attacking midfielders do cost a lot of money. There's a lot of rumours on the mill about Mishu at this moment in time. Okay, is that what we're going for? Is that our central attacking midfielder going into next season? People saying he's very good, but he needs a little bit of time to get into the role. He's still not quite there yet. Sunderland fans have been saying that. Then you're looking at a left-back, it's all gone quiet on the left-back front after us being rumoured for Manning and Taylor, and I understand everything is behind closed doors. I get that. I get with the 49ers that everything is like that. We didn't know about Ethan Ampadu until the last minute. Another centre-back, goalkeepers. Leeds need players. Leeds need players. This isn't. I can't understand. I can't understand for the life of me this whole thing of we keep the squad as it is. Well, the squad as it is, for me, isn't good enough. It's not good enough to get in the top 2 places in the Championship. There's too many profiles that need replacing. Junior Firpo's not going to be at the club. So what then happens? Byram goes left back. Is that what we're talking about? Byram goes left back. Cresswell, who was in and out at Millwall last season, still needs a little bit of development. Would get it with a little bit of competition. He's going to be there. Then we've got Yelder. Okay, I like Yelder. Did all right at Rotherham last season. Then you've got, obviously, Strauch, who struggled a little bit last season, 100%. We all know that. He had a good performance yesterday, but did struggle. One performance doesn't mean anything, really. You're hoping it means something, but... And this is the left-hand side. And then what are we looking at? Ayling's centre-back, Cooper. Obviously, I know Ayling can come centre-back, Cooper centre-back. Is this what we're going into the season with? For me... I think the Wöber thing is a bit of a worry, and it's not because I think he's a major player in this Leeds United side, but I do think that It's another one that's gone out and is going out to a good club in Borussia Mönchengladbach. Bearing in mind, Farke managed there last season, a very good standard Bundesliga side who have very high standards in the position that they're, in the league table they're at in terms of, the league position, what they want, etc., etc. That's all fantastic. But you've got Wöber being transferred from Leeds to Borussia Mönchengladbach on loan again. It's absolute madness. It's madness. So we're getting no value. Spent 10 million quid on him, and then we might accrue a little bit of value next season. But what about now? What about the here and now? What about instalments that we're still paying for players that we've got in anyway? The Dan James instalments were across 3 to 4 years, for goodness sake, for that £30 million transfer we made for him. The Rodrigo, I can tell you for a fact, the Rodrigo instalments were over a 3 to 4 year period as well. Leeds are still, I know for a fact Leeds are still paying these instalments. They're still paying them. So the transfer value that's coming, are the 49ers just going to sort this behind closed doors? I doubt it. They're going to need some money to be able to obviously run the club and run the infrastructure and the facilities behind the scenes, yes, but they need money from the assets that were brought in for future sales. All of our players were brought in for future sales. So it's just getting to a scenario now where you're wondering, are Leeds then going to have to sell someone who they didn't want to sell, a Rutter? Because I'm looking at the players now and thinking, who are our sellable assets? Harrison, okay, fair enough, no problem there. Harrison there, I don't know how much we're going to... I think people, once again, are very much overvaluing Harrison, but I think we'll get a decent value for him. Nonto we all want to keep, don't we? I mean, I'm seeing online Nonto and Sinisterra are going to tear up the championship. So now do we not want Nonto because we're not getting any value for Wöber and he's all right to be sold on? Then the squad's getting thinner. Then Crysencio Somerville, don't get me wrong, we all like Somerville. He's got a lot of potential, but he's raw. He's very, very raw. So you're going to throw him in for 46 games in a championship season? No, there needs to be rotation there. Are we going to have to sell a big asset like Rutter? But then again, they were talking about Hoffenheim loaning him, getting him on loan last season. In the transfer window earlier on, apparently Hoffenheim were looking to loan him, and that's all they want at this moment in time because they can't afford the sale or whatever it is for him. So they were the only suitors at the time. Now have Leeds gone out there and said, look, he is for sale to everybody? Probably not. But would he accrue that much value anyway because he barely played last season? Probably not. So Hoffenheim would be the likely move, but they were only offering a loan. So it's all getting complicated, everyone. We're looking at Meslier. Mellier's still playing yesterday. He's still the number one keeper. Rob Blezer's gone. And for me, Mellier's staying at the club. I don't think we're getting a number one keeper. I don't think so. And it really bugs me that this has happened again. And we've got another asset there in Wöber. We've had an asset in Aronson. We've had an asset in Robin Koch. All these players are assets to the football club, and we can get value from them. I mean, in the long term, we might do, but right now, the here and now, Leeds getting back to the Premier League in the first season, we need value in to be able to go and get players for value. And at this moment in time, it feels like it's going to have to be a bargain hunt thing. Ethan Ampadu, unbelievable. Loved him yesterday. But I'm looking at this side now. Who are the assets? Because we need to keep... everyone's going on about Tyler Adams. Keep Tyler Adams. He's going to be the captain next year, partnering with Ethan Ampadu. That's something we'd all love to do. But this squad right now still needs addition, still needs surgery. Think about the mentality of the squad as well. These are a set of players who are losers. They've won 16 times in 2 and a bit years. They need reinforcements to bolster the squad. New profiles, new exciting players. And we've got gaps. We've got a lot of gaps and a lot of inexperience. This isn't just an overreaction. I cannot believe, again, this is another thing where we've got another loan going out again, a Wöber, an asset. I might not think he's the best player on planet Earth, and I certainly don't think he's one of the top players. Last season, I don't. I think he was a little bit overhyped, but he came in, made a little bit of an impact, and that helped him. Listen, I understand why a lot of people do think he was brilliant, and I understand that, and I can understand that to an extent. And my mind might be swayed a little bit. I just don't think he was as good as people thought he was. However, to let him go on loan again, Rodrigo, massive player who's gone, okay? Massive player who's gone. Signed him for 30 million, we've got 3 million for him. Has that transfer? Of course it hasn't worked. He did well this season, don't get me wrong. But 3 million quid, that's the only value we've got so far. Let's look at our competitors in the division. We're all talking about Southampton and Leicester. Leeds going to go up as champions, going to beat them, no problem, easy, some people, which I cannot believe. Southampton are going to accrue value for Romeo Lavia. Lavia wasn't even in the squad yesterday. You know, they're going to sell him at some point to Arsenal, to a Liverpool, because they're begging out for a central midfielder. Arsenal looked poor in midfield yesterday against Man United. Are they going to go out and spend more money on Lavia, try to get a deal done for that? They still need reinforcements there. Liverpool still need reinforcements there. That's 40, 50 million quid. Leicester have brought in nigh on 80 million quid for Maddison and Barnes, and they're buying players still. So we can all compare to Leicester and Southampton, but they're still accruing value. Do you think they've let players go? Assets, massive assets who they've spent big money on for loans. Loans. I mean, what's the benefit for Leeds there at all? The 49ers must be ripping their hair out. I wonder if they knew about this. You'd hope that they knew about this. Where's Angus in all this? Has he briefed them that there are so many loan clauses in the entire team? I just can't understand how Nonto's brought in January. He's not got a loan clause in his contract. Wöber's brought in January for 10 million quid less, more than Nonto, and he's been given a loan clause and a loan clause in his contract, and he's going out to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Like, how does that aid Leeds? It doesn't. And it's just mind-boggling. And you do want... It's going to have to be a massive week for Leeds, everyone. Massive week. And this is just... I think this would... I'm going to know because I've sounded it out on Twitter and Instagram and a couple of mates. They can't believe it. You know, for a lot of people on the stream this morning were saying how good he was. I thought, when we were talking about a transfer, I thought we're actually going to get some dough for him. I thought you're looking at maybe, 10 to 12 million quid. What we've made, what we spent on him, we're getting back. No, it's another loan. It's another loan. Absolutely baffled, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Oh, Leeds United. I'll see you in a bit.